skillfully, they can build an emotional connection that goes beyond surface-level attraction. So why do these phrases work particularly well with women? Psychology suggests that women, in general, place a high value on emotional connection. They look for validation, trust, and understanding in their relationships. This emotional attunement means that when words are spoken sincerely, they can reach those deep emotional triggers that make her feel valued and understood. But here's the catch: it's not enough to just say something sweet or charming. You need to mean it. The timing, tone, and delivery of your words are as essential as the words themselves. Now that we've touched on the psychology behind these phrases, let's dive into the first one and see what makes it so effective. Segment 2, Phrase 1, I understand how you feel. The first phrase might sound simple, but trust me, it's one of the most impactful things you can say. I understand how you feel. Why is this so powerful? Women, especially those in relationships, often feel unheard. They want to feel understood on an emotional level. This is more than just listening to what they say. It's about empathizing with their emotions. When you say, I understand how you feel, you're not just showing that you've listened, you're showing that you truly get her. This can forge an emotional bond that feels incredibly strong. However, timing is key here. You can't just use this phrase at any moment. It needs to come from a place of genuine understanding. Picture this: she's venting about her day or expressing her frustrations. Instead of offering solutions or brushing off her feelings, you take a moment to really listen. Then you say, I understand how you feel. This not only validates her feelings, but shows that you're emotionally present. Even if she's in a relationship, this phrase can make her feel that you understand her in ways her partner might not. Remember, it's not just about saying it, you have to show it. Actively listen, ask questions, and demonstrate genuine interest in her perspective. When you do this, that simple phrase opens the door to a deeper connection. Segment 3, Phrase 2, you deserve so much better. Now let's move to a phrase that can make a woman reconsider her current situation, especially if she's in an unhappy relationship. You deserve so much better. This phrase resonates because it connects with a woman's sense of self-worth. Many women stay in less than ideal relationships out of a sense of obligation, a fear of being alone, simply because they don't realize they deserve more. When you say you deserve so much better, you're reminding her that she's worth more than she's getting. However, it's essential to use this phrase carefully. The last thing you don't want to come across as manipulative or judgmental. The aim here isn't to criticize her choices or belittle her current partner. Instead, it's about giving her a gentle nudge to recognize her own worth. When used at the right moment, this phrase can be incredibly empowering. For instance, if she shared with you that she feels unappreciated or taken for granted, saying, "You deserve so much better," can plant a subtle thought in her mind. It may prompt her to question if her current relationship is truly fulfilling, or if she's settling for less than she deserves. The key here is to be authentic. If she senses you're only saying this to win her over, it could backfire. But if it comes from a place of genuine care and respect, this phrase has the potential to be transformative. Segment 4. Phrase 3. I've never met anyone like you. At first glance, this phrase might seem like a typical compliment, but when used sincerely, it can be surprisingly powerful. Saying, "I've never met anyone like you," is about making her feel special and unique. Most women want to feel like they stand out. Not just one in a million, but truly one of a kind. By telling her this, you're celebrating her individuality, making her feel seen and appreciated. But here's the trick to making this phrase effective: it needs to be personal. Don't just throw it out there casually. Find something specific that genuinely makes her stand out. It could be her humor, her creativity, or even how she makes you feel. When you tie this phrase to something particular and meaningful, it feels more authentic. Imagine you're on a date or in a deep conversation, and she shares something you truly admire. That's the perfect moment to say, "I've never met anyone like you." It shows that you're paying attention and value her for who she is beyond appearances or surface-level traits. This phrase is especially effective if she feels overlooked in her current relationship. By acknowledging her uniqueness, you make her feel special in ways she might not experience with her partner. Segment 5. Phrase 4. I feel so comfortable around you. Finally, let's talk about the phrase, "I feel so comfortable around you." At first, it may not seem as impactful as the others, but don't underestimate it. Telling a woman you feel comfortable around her invites vulnerability, which is an attractive quality. But women are naturally drawn to men who can open up emotionally. By expressing that you feel at ease with her, you're showing trust, creating an emotional safe space where both of you can be authentic. When you're comfortable around someone, you let your guard down. You're not trying to impress or put on a show, you're just being yourself. When she sees this, it encourages her to be herself around you too. This forms the basis of a strong connection, even with someone who's already in a relationship. This phrase also communicates that you're looking for something meaningful, not just a casual fling. It shows that you're interested in building a true bond, one rooted in trust and emotional safety, which is highly attractive. Putting it all together. So there you have it, the 4 secret phrases that can foster deep emotional connections with any woman, even if she's in a relationship. But remember, these aren't magic words. Their power lies in sincerity. You have to genuinely mean what you're saying, and it must come from a place of respect and authenticity. When you use these phrases with real intent, you'll notice women responding to you in a different way. It's about creating meaningful connections, not manipulation or mind games. If you found today's video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and hit the notification bell so you're always updated. And let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these phrases and how they worked for you. Until next time, stay confident and keep growing. Have you ever caught yourself questioning whether she's subtly showing interest in you, or if maybe it's just wishful thinking? Sometimes the signals are as clear as day, yet most men overlook them simply because they're not focusing on the right details. Today we're diving into 6 undeniable signs that a woman may want to be closer to you, examining these cues through a Stoic perspective. These signs are often subtle, but once you know how to spot them, they're unmistakable. By the end of this video, you'll have a fresh outlook on attraction. So stay with me, you may realize just how much you've been overlooking. Sign 1: lingering eye contact. Let's start with a sign that's both obvious yet frequently missed: lingering eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most powerful nonverbal forms of communication. A glance can convey volumes, especially when it lasts longer than usual. Think about it: when someone's casually interested, They'll usually break eye contact after a few seconds. But if a woman holds your gaze a bit longer, it's intentional. She's sending you a message without uttering a word. Now, let's not jump to conclusions. This is where Stoicism becomes useful. Stoicism teaches us to be calm, observant, and fully engaged in the moment. Instead of reacting impulsively, you're tuned into the subtleties. Imagine you're talking to a woman, and she locks eyes with you, holding your gaze and maybe even giving a subtle smile. This is an invitation. She's drawing you into her space, signaling interest. But as a Stoic, the goal is to remain calm. Hold her gaze with quiet confidence, showing her that you recognize the signal without making it awkward or uncomfortable. You're not chasing, you're letting her come closer. That calm, collected demeanor is exactly what a Stoic embodies: awareness without overreaction. Ask yourself, how often have you caught a woman holding eye contact with you, only to brush it off as nothing? You might be missing something meaningful. Sign 2: intentional touch. Let's talk about touch, one of the most telling indicators of attraction, but also one of the easiest to misinterpret. The key here is intention. When a woman touches you deliberately, whether it's a light touch on the arm or a hand on your shoulder, it's not just a casual gesture. She's testing the waters, gauging how you'll respond. Stoicism encourages us to remain observant and attuned to the small things. If her touch lingers a little longer than usual, or she finds subtle excuses to make contact, it's a sign of her comfort with you. Pay attention to how frequently she touches your arm during conversation or gently places her hand on your shoulder. These actions aren't random, they're signals of attraction. But a Stoic man doesn't get flustered or overly excited. He stays grounded, recognizing these gestures for what they are: signs of interest. Stoicism isn't about ignoring these cues, it's about calmly understanding their deeper meaning. When she repeatedly initiates touch in different situations, she's inviting a closer connection. Imagine this: you're sitting at a table, sharing a good conversation, and she touches your arm while laughing at something you said, holding the touch just a second longer than usual. This isn't accidental. As a Stoic, you'd acknowledge the gesture without overreacting, letting her see that you're in control of the moment. The more composed you remain, the more intrigued she becomes. Sign 3: seeking private conversations. One of the strongest indicators that a woman is interested in more than just casual interaction is when she seeks you out for one-on-one conversations. Whether it's in a crowded room or over text, if she's making efforts to find moments alone with you, that's a clear signal of deeper interest. Consider this if she suggests stepping outside for some fresh air at a party or texts you late at night when others aren't around. These aren't random acts. She's intentionally creating situations for the two of you and testing to see if you'll reciprocate. Stoicism teaches us to be self-aware and mindful of our interactions. A Stoic man understands that when a woman seeks these private moments, she's showing vulnerability and signaling a desire for a more personal connection. Instead of rushing in or making assumptions, you stay grounded. You observe her actions, letting the moment develop naturally. Picture this scenario: you're at a lively event, and she suggests going outside to escape the noise for a bit. In that instance, recognize her interest, stay composed, and let the moment unfold naturally. She's creating a private space just for the two of you, subtly signaling her interest in forming a deeper emotional or possibly physical connection. As a Stoic, you avoid rushing or pressuring the situation, choosing instead to remain calm and let her set the pace. Consider this: have you ever had someone make an effort to talk to you alone, but you brushed it off? What if that was her way of showing interest? Sign 4: flirtatious body language. Body language can often convey more than words, especially when it comes to attraction. When a woman has a deeper interest in you, her body may give away clues before she ever says a word. Stoicism encourages us to be observant of these subtle, nonverbal signals because they can reveal genuine intentions. So, what should you be watching for? Start by noting how she positions herself around you. If she leans in when you speak or mirrors your movements, she's crossing the invisible boundary of personal space, her way of creating closeness without saying anything. Stoicism helps you stay grounded and composed, allowing you to notice these subtle shifts without acting impulsively. Another cue to watch for is how she touches her hair or face, small, often subconscious gestures that can indicate nervous excitement or attraction. And if her legs are crossed in your direction, it's another quiet signal of her interest. The key is not to overthink or act too eagerly. A Stoic man acknowledges these cues but doesn't rush. He lets the moment build naturally, striking a balance between confidence and patience. A real-life example: you're talking, and she's playing with her hair while making eye contact, or perhaps she leans closer with her body angled toward you. These are all subtle signs she's attracted to you. A Stoic man remains calm, aware of these signs but without becoming overly excited. Sign 5: frequent compliments. Compliments are a clear indicator of attraction. And when a woman frequently comments on your appearance, it's more than just flattery. It shows she's noticing details about how you look and present yourself, often signaling both physical and emotional interest. Here's where Stoicism comes into play. A Stoic man neither lets compliments inflate his ego nor dismisses them as insignificant. He accepts them as signs of interest, plain and simple. When a woman compliments your physique, smile, or the way you carry yourself, it's her way of expressing that her attraction goes beyond your looks. She's drawn to your presence, confidence, and how you make her feel. A Stoic man stays composed in these moments, not letting compliments define his self-worth, but recognizing their significance as markers of attraction. Real life scenario, she might say, "You always look so well put together," or "You smell amazing." These compliments aren't just about appearance, they reflect how she feels around you. A Stoic man appreciates the compliment without letting it change his reaction, displaying confidence without seeking validation. Sign 6. She brings up sexual topics. The most straightforward sign of a woman's interest in a more intimate connection is when she begins introducing sexual topics or making playful, suggestive comments. This is rarely by accident. Women often hint at their desires more subtly than men, and by mentioning these topics, she's testing the waters to gauge your reaction. A Stoic man doesn't jump on the opportunity or get caught up in excitement. He remains grounded, listens carefully, and responds thoughtfully. When a woman brings up sexual topics, she's looking to see if you have the maturity to handle the conversation with composure and respect. Example, perhaps she makes a flirty remark about a movie scene or shares something suggestive. She's assessing your response, checking if you're on the same page. As a Stoic, you stay calm, engaging without rushing. Your steadiness shows you're in control of your emotions and desires, making you even more attractive in her eyes. For conclusion, Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control others' actions, we can control our reactions. In the context of attraction, this mindset is key. Recognizing these 6 signs is about understanding human behavior on a deeper level without making assumptions or reacting impulsively. If you notice these signals in a woman, there's a good chance she's indicating an interest that goes beyond casual conversation. But as a true Stoic, you remain patient, calm, and composed, allowing the connection to grow naturally. There's no need to rush. Confidence lies in trusting that everything will unfold in its own time. If you found value in this exploration of Stoicism and attraction, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Tap the notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll see you in the next one. Body language can often convey more than words, especially when it comes to attraction. When a woman has a deeper interest in you, her body may give away clues before she ever says a word. Stoicism encourages us to be observant of these subtle, nonverbal signals because they can reveal genuine intentions. So, what should you be watching for? Start by noting how she positions herself around you. If she leans in when you speak or mirrors your movements, she's crossing the invisible boundary of personal space, her way of creating closeness without saying anything. Stoicism helps you stay grounded and composed, allowing you to notice these subtle shifts without acting impulsively.